Hey everyone, it's Sadie. Welcome back and happy October. I feel like it's been a pretty busy couple of weeks, and when I came back here, the leaves have finally started to change, and I'm glad because I just cut it at the end and now they're all falling. They are all done with being pretty for fall. So I'm super glad I came back when that happened, but hope everyone is doing well. Last time I saw you guys was right before Hurricane Milton was coming to Naples, and we did fine. The house did fine. If anything, for us, it was a little bit of wind, but really not much compared to usual. I'd say at this point, the worst part was that we lost power for a couple of days. We had a generator, but still, it was important to try to keep the food fresh in the fridge and stuff. So, other than that, everything went fine. And then, once I came back, I only came back home here for a few days, and then I was off to the Queen City Stitch Retreat. Which, if you saw my last video, I had a lot of, apprehension, nervousness about it, but definitely a completely different experience compared to the virtual retreat that I did. So, definitely worth it. I was so happy that I went. I was getting a bit nervous just being like, I'm going to be in a room full of practically a bunch of strangers. The only ones that I felt like I kind of knew and was comfortable with were Maggie and Amy. But my table mates were great. All the hosts were great. Aaron and Cassandra were amazing. It was so cool to see them. And even though we treat them like celebrities, they really acted like normal people. Very humble, very happy to be around us, and very surprised at how much we enjoy their work and how so many of us stitch their work. So I think it was a great experience for them too. And there were definitely different things that happened there. I'll try to be organized as much as possible. I didn't have anything written down, but for this video, I felt like I can do a bit of a retreat recap and then go into what I was able to stitch. I felt like I got a decent amount of projects stitched on that you may have not seen since my whip parade. And then at the end, I wanted to do a little bit of Nora November because that's coming up soon. So I'll show you some of my Nora patterns and what my plans are for the month of November. So let's get to it. All right. So for the retreat, one of the things that I thought was gonna happen, and I'm a complete newbie. This was my first time ever at a physical cross stitch retreat. All I knew was that I had to show up at this hotel and that it started at 3 p.m. and then it ended essentially Sunday. So when I got there, I tried to bring what I could. I had my portfolio. I had a couple of projects because I knew I didn't need to bring all of them that time. I brought my finished projects because they did have a brag table, so I brought 3. And one of them, of course, was the Dark Queen of the Earth. So I brought that one. And then when I got there, people were busy because doors open, and I got there like 45 minutes after doors. And it was super busy. Everyone was chatting. There were people walking around tables that I was then later learning about, and I saw this group. I was table 17, and I asked them, I said, are we assigned tables or do we just pick a table? And they said, no, you just pick whatever table you want that has spots. And I said, okay, cool. So they had some spots. I asked if I can sit there. They of course said yes, and it was a great time. So their people were serious in the sense of they meant it when they said that people were stitching from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Thursday and then 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday. I mean, people were in there from the moment doors open to the moment doors closed. But we were able to stitch what we wanted when we wanted. There was no specific timeline. They just had moments where they said, okay, at 5 p.m. is going to be a giveaway. At 7 p.m. there's going to be a game. So you tried to make it to those times, but no one was going to fault you for missing the time there. So you got to use that time as you wish. So I did try to spend as much time as I could downstairs to stitch, and just get to see what other people stitched. Finally, I had the courage on Saturday to walk around at the other tables and just see what other people were stitching, because people were stitching all sorts of things. And it was great to see, because some of the stuff I've seen, you know, you only see on paper or on the internet, and it's true when they say it's a totally different thing when you see it in person. And some of those projects, some of those finished pieces that were out on the brag table were incredible. The beading, the stitching, just seeing it come to life, and the way that people made it come to life in different frames versus like pillows or like door hangers or anything like that. It was really inspiring, and it just fueled that fire of wanting to continue stitching. So that was all great. One of the areas that they had was a freebie table, and you bet that I got some patterns from there. I also put a couple of patterns out there too. There was a long table in the middle that was the raffle table. And I'm sorry if I keep like having a stuffy nose. I think the allergies. I haven't been in this room in a while, and so the dust is coming to me. So there was a raffle table, and we got tickets already in our manual folder that I know I brought with me, but oh, there it is. I was like, I probably won't be able to find it. But so Maggie and Amy had one of these in everyone's bag, which is here. Yeah, I'm already doing a fantastic job. So I had one of these. It's big. I was like, this is a legit canvas bag. And so she had the manual. They had one of those big water cups that mine's upstairs. They also had a little bag for us with goodies. So this was their cute retreat bag. I mean, they gave us a treasure braid. They gave us scissors. They also got us these really cute pumpkin buttons. And then they gave us some beeswax, which I haven't ever used. I may have to use it one day, but never know. So this was all in the bag. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is one heck of a welcome gift. So you had all that. And mind you, I definitely used that bag as a carry-on. So you had all that in there, and then inside there were also some raffle tickets that you can already use for the prizes that were there. They got tricky. They were tricky because there were prizes for raffles. There were a lot. There had to have been like 20, if not more. But each day, or at least the next day, they added a couple more. So I think some people, if they put all their tickets in on one spot, they were like, dang, now they had to buy, which was totally fine. I definitely bought some extra tickets because there were some prizes that I really wanted. And I was super happy because I got 2. I did not know I was going to win, let alone 2. And I definitely didn't think I was going to win one of the ones that I did. I will show you. I feel like I've been wanting to show you since I started the video. And so I may just do that. So I'll show you. I swear, I was so happy when I saw this. And the crazy thing is that I went to see a friend because she lives in Asheville. And since I was close enough, I wanted to go see her, have coffee. We just had a great time, and I ran late, and as I was coming back, I was like 20 minutes away. They're like, oh my god, Sadie, you're winning prizes, and I'm going, I'm so close. But when I got back, I had these surprises. So this is the first one. I'm so excited. Alrighty. Guys, I'm not kidding. I don't even think this is gonna show all of it. And I have to make sure, but look at this! Is this right? This is a handmade quilt. Look at it. It's bigger than me. People were asking, is this king size, queen size? I've never owned a quilt. I don't know. I put it on my bed and it definitely covers a queen. So it could be queen sized. But isn't it so pretty? And then this is the back. That things like stars and designs. But oh, I was so happy. And then the maker of the quilt, her name's Kelly, she was there. And so I immediately went to say, like, thank you for making this and for donating this. Because she made 2. So someone else won her other one, but she made 2 and she donated it to the raffle for this retreat. And that's the one that I didn't even think I was going to win. And I was super excited. But then the other one that I got, I wanted as well, and I'm so glad I didn't buy her pattern because I saw it on Instagram and I was like, I want it, but I'm going to hold off. And I was happy I did because not only did I get her pattern, but I got a project bag, and it is all kitted up. Fabric, beads, threads, like the whole thing. So this is from, and I know I have it here, Cat from Whittier Stitches. And this is the pattern of the Mermaid Periwinkle. And so I was super excited because she was able to get me the pattern as a PDF, and it not only, yeah, I'm able to show it here, but it comes in different skin colors, and I'm super excited about that for a reason I'll tell you in a bit. But see, so the one that I want to say I saw online that she said was a model stitcher was the darker skinned one of the four. And I thought it was beautiful the way that it all complemented each other. She was actually stitching this at the retreat, but she was doing the lighter skin color. So I'm in between. I may actually go for the caramel colored mermaid when I stitch this. I will have to plan a way to stitch this. This may be a May stitch for me. In the sense, I may have different references to art because I love drawing and I love art as well. And I know that May here is dedicated to Mirabilia, but in the art world, it's also Mermay. And so if you ever go through Instagram, social media, things like that, there's so many mermaid pieces and artwork because artists dedicate that month to mermaids. And so I may pull this out for Mermay next year. But it comes in this bag, which was so great. Like, and I got little hairs all over it. Whoop! I always do this where I never know if I'm showing it to you correctly. I have to stand up. Okay, there we go. And then it came with the threads all put together. And again, Kat was nice enough. She said, I don't know what skin color you're going to use, so I give you all. I said, yay! This is all of them. She got me the fabric, which is Dark Reflection. It's a Lugana 28 count Mystic Fabrics. I've never worked with their fabric. But look at this. And then came with, they got some white beads and then this cute needle minder. You guys know at this point I love needle minders. Look at it. It's a mermaid tail. And so I was just super excited. The fact that I would have been happy with one, but the fact that I got both, like, made my night. The whole thing made my night. It made my week. Everything made my weekend. It was a beautiful time. I really felt good. It made me feel very, very connected with the community. I normally enjoy my alone time. I'm never, like, whenever I'm alone, I'm not lonely. I love it. I do stuff with myself. I take myself out to eat, take myself out to the movies. I do things on my own, but then it is nice to find a community as big as ours that is as passionate about a project and is wanting to interact with each other. I felt like that maybe I've missed in a way unconsciously, and this really felt like a way to feel at home in a community. So it was great. Tons of freebies. I was so surprised with how many freebies. Like, people just came from other tables and they had made like 100 of different things, like needle minders and scissor fobs. I'm looking, Wendy with Bags with Wendy, she made literally like 100 of these and was just giving these like one to each person. And she had different ones, but I had to get to the Art Nouveau, like Alphonse Mucha one, because I love him. So I got that one. They were giving floss drops. Some gave stickers. We had where we did the needle minder exchange, and these were not the exchanges. These are just freebies. These two I got at a giveaway, but all the other ones were just freebie needle minders. And on our table was the magnetic frame, and that's where I just placed them. So it was great. Great time. In that time, we also did a smalls exchange. And I felt so like lucky to be able to get my bag. I think everyone loved their gifts, but I really enjoyed mine. Mine, let's see here. Everyone had to get a piece of fabric, a needle minder, a little finished project, something that would like a queen would want or would remind you of a queen, and then something that reminds you of the place that you're from. So I won't show everything, but I'll show a couple of things. So this is one where this is the fabric that I got, and I'm really, really excited about it. Again, I've never used this style of fabric. It is, we can't elope. It's a cantaloupe. It's a linen 40 count, and it's from Stitch Me. Again, I've never worked with their stuff. Got that. And then the little finish was so cute. And I feel like it's definitely me. It says, sorry for what I said when I was hungry. Never a truer statement. So, there's definitely plenty of more stuff in there, but I am not going to bog you down with all the little nitty-gritty details. So from there, the freebies, the freebie patterns that I got, I'll quickly show you. There were ones that I didn't think that they would be cross-stitch patterns, and they just attracted to me, and I thought they were really cute. So this one is from like Norman Rockwell art, and I believe this one has both of the patterns that are on the cover. Yep. And so, What Called My Name was the doctor office one. The two couples are cute too, but the doctor office one is the one that I liked. And I've seen these prints like out in the world online. I thought that was cool. And then I got 2 different Precious Moment books. And I got them because I've loved Precious Moment. I loved their coloring books and just coloring them. And so when I looked through these, they actually had a few of the prints that I absolutely adored. I don't think I'm going to write the little Bible statements or Bible verses that they have, but I would just do the image. So like all these prints are in this book. And I got 2 of them. I think there were 3 books, but I just limited myself to 2. So I got that. Trying to think, not those. These 2. This seemed really cute. It was, let's see, sunflower. I think it's a really long one. So sunflowers, and then, oh, I'm gonna get this wrong. I think these are poppies. They're like pink poppies. Which I thought would be really nice. Yep. So those were the freebies that I got. And then we got to do a meet and greet with Erin and Cassandra. And we were able to get 2 things signed from them. I was excited because I got my Beauty and the Beast pattern signed by them, which was the first pattern that I bought from them ever. And then that's when I got into Dark Queen and some of the other ones. And then the other one that I bought that Maggie and Amy said is now free on the, I want to say it's the Queen City Stitch Retreat website, is the retreat pattern. So I was super excited to get this one signed. I brought another one just to bring, but when I saw that we can get the retreat one signed, I said, of course, I have to get that one. So I got those 2. Got to take a picture of them with my Dark Queen of the Earth. I'll post it here. I was super excited. Immediately after that, I sent it to my boyfriend, and I sent it to my family, and I sent it to my other friend that does cross-stitching, because I was like, you guys have to see this. You wouldn't believe me. And so it was really exciting. So that's kind of the hullabaloo of the retreat. I know I didn't go through it piece by piece, but it was just so much stuff. And it was like, I know I'm probably not going to remember every single detail, but the feeling in there was one of happiness, excitement, laughter. Like, it was just all positive stuff. So I am going to try to get into to the application for January. So if I see you there, that'd be great. And if I see you again, that'd be awesome. And then if I don't get it, that's okay, because that means that potentially someone who's never done a retreat is gonna go for the first time. And I think that's an awesome one to start with. So good luck to everyone for January. Alrighty. So from there, kind of still with the retreat, but this is part of my whips is, the stuff that I've worked on since I last saw you guys. So I worked on, I think, about 4 to 5 pieces. I was planning, last time I talked about starting my Plague Nurse on the kitchen towel, but I hadn't started her because I pulled out a couple of really old whips during the retreat, and I really got to work on those. And I got to work on Mars a lot, which is what I wanted. And I had a new start. So we'll go through some of the whips. The first one that I worked on because I had to, since it was Autumn Lane Retreat, was my Beauty and the Beast. So I'll show a picture here of the pattern. So this is it. And I'll try to show a picture of where I was last time. Really, I was in this area of where the mermaid is, and right where one of the spirals of the beast's tail is. And at the time, she was bald, didn't have hair. So now she's got some hair, which was really exciting. There we go. I'm trying to get as close as I can. So really, I just worked on the blue that's in her hair. And that felt nice. It felt nice to just work on different strands of hair. I was really mainly working with 2 different blues. During the retreat, I felt that my flow with working on things was to try to work on a project for half the day, essentially. So if I can work on something in the morning, and then around lunchtime switch to, or a little bit after lunch, switch to a different project. That way I got to do 2 projects in a day and feel like I actually got a good enough work on them. And the fabric here is Mystery by Oak Crown Studios, which I thought was very appropriate. And I mean, I picked this up before I knew that they were doing the retreat. So I just said, well, that was fate. That was meant to be. And I did get a couple of fabrics from her. She had... Amy had her store there, and then Sheba Designs was there, and then Erin and Cassandra were selling some of Autumn Lane patterns too. They were surprised that they were selling as many patterns as they were. They didn't think they were going to sell as much. I think they've underestimated how serious we can be when it comes to either stitching or collecting cross-stitch patterns. So they've learned. So that was that. And then the other one I was really happy to bring out was Stone Roses by Mirabilia. Let's see. I know I kept her pattern here. There we are. So this one is a 1995 pattern that I know of. It is still... Is it showing up? It is still in print. I feel like it's really dark. Let's see. There we go. So, I'm working in the middle, which is technically around her feet. I'll show a picture of where it was before. But essentially, in the before picture, you're going to see that the middle, the roses, some of those areas had holes, and now they're filled in. So, here we go. So this doesn't feel like much but when I look at the pictures, I do notice that I got to fill in the majority of that area, and now I'm starting to work around there. So I'm going to be working on the rest of the robes, and I'm going to enter into doing her feet. And this gorgeous fabric is Chloris from Under the Sea Fabrics. And it is a beautiful big fabric because she is gonna be big. So I'm really happy to work on her. It's an opalescent linen. Opalescent linen. It is 28 count. So she is going to be big. But I got to put some work into her, and I was happy about that. And then after that, I worked on Mars. Sorry for the long pause. And I felt like I got a good amount of work on her. My goal with her was to try to get a good amount of the skirt done. But I got one end of her skirt and I got her belt done, which felt awesome. So this is her. So yeah, so I got all that purple in. And I got all of her skirt down to where the border ends. So really what I have left with her is gonna be the rest of her skirt kind of does this V shape, so it's gonna come here, and then it's just some legs. Legs and then some stockings that she has. The middle bow is a Krynic. I don't think I have it yet. I haven't ordered it yet. So, be waiting on that, but I'll continue working on her. I feel like I've been making good progress. I'm hoping I can get her finished by the end of December. Like by the end of the year. It would be fantastic to have her completely done, and then I can work on a different sailor. Goodness gracious, at that point, if I'm doing a sailor a year, that's a lot of years. I'm gonna have to speed it up. Short answer, speed it up. But those were my whips, and then my start. And mind you, this start has gotten a lot of work. I am so happily surprised. And it's been so easy to do in the sense that there's enough color change and enough areas that I can switch threads that it keeps me motivated, it keeps me engaged. It was my airport stitching when I was flying into and out of Charlotte. And even during the retreat, that's what I worked on the first night. And I worked on it when I came home. It is the Amanita Bistro by Forest Embroidery. It looks like they're doing a series of frogs. They already came out with their third one. And I was super happy to start it. And I'll show you what it looks like. Let me see, because I have to bring I of course have to put on the Amanita Mushroom Mermaid. So she's been the companion for this. Whoop. This is it. Let's see. Maybe I have to pull back a bit so you can see. But I know. I literally just started this and I already got a frog and the whole mushroom stalk, half of the top. I really just have to do the other frog on the other end, and then there's some ferns that are bordering the edge. But it's been a fun stitch. I was really happy to see how it was to do an Forest embroidery. It's my first time doing one. And if anything, I was surprised with how, I want to say it's Elizabeth in Thread Gremlins. She did an Forest embroidery with the jar of pickles, and she did that one super fast. I felt like each time they did a Flosstube, she had like half of it done. I think it was 3 Flosstubes and then it was already completed. And I thought, are they really that fast? Because they look very detailed in the pictures. And they are. They have details in them, but it gets engaging enough to be able to do it. So that's how I felt when I was doing this. I was in love with it. And the one color that I've been worrying about, I'll try to put the picture up again, is the cap, the top part of the mushroom. Because I'm not using the Forest embroidery threads. I've been using the DMC conversion for a couple, but then I'm using also a couple of Pirate Robin threads. I'm using 3 of them. And then I'm also using a Karen Water Lily, which is a Hot Mess Express in there. So the dark skin of the frog is Tide Pool by Pirate Robin. which is really nice. It has that very emerald green, but with some teal on the edges. So that's been cute. And then I used sorbet for some of the orangey red parts. Ooh. Trying to think how close I can get it without it. Looks like the light really wants to shine on it. And then I got the Thread Gremlin classic, but watermelon. So, obviously this is a hot mess because I've been using the heck out of it. But it really does a great job. It does great transitions in the reds. It's been used on the ladybugs and on the frog's phone. So I'll try to bring this back up now that you know what the colors are. Trying to move those things around. So, right, so the frog's skin is all that tide pool. The orange is a sorbet. The red is, even the different shades of red, they're all the same watermelon. And then DMC is the lighter green, the white, and the yellow. But then there's this one that was my black horse, in the sense that I didn't want it, I wanted it to be variegated, but I didn't want to get the all forest embroidery thread just for this. I didn't want to wait, I was impatient. And so I looked at my stash, and the one that seemed to come the closest was Celadon by Karen Waterlilies. And I personally think it did a great job. I feel like the light here isn't doing it much justice, so I'll try to take a picture of it to show you. But in person, when I look at it, it looks great. With the variegation and the lightness, I feel like it's pretty similar to what the Alforest embroidery mushroom is. So I'm really happy with how that's turning out. I'm hoping that'll be a finish soon as well. High hopes if it could be a finish by the end of the month, because I don't think I have that much, and I've been stitching it really fast. So I am super excited. That'd be crazy if you saw it as a new start in this video, and then in 2 weeks it's a finish. That would be awesome. We'll see if we make it happen. So yeah, so those were my whips. Talked about retreat. And I think at this point we can go into Nora November. I've never done Nora November or Mirabilia. I haven't ever dedicated a month to them. Granted, Nora Corbett has to be my favorite designer. So it sounds crazy that I haven't been involved with them, but I also haven't been super involved in the cross-stitch community until recently. So I'm hoping that I can get involved this November. And I think my insides are a little bit nervous because of the whole starting something new, but I'm trying to be okay with that. Like, enjoy the process. I'm definitely a project stitcher in the sense that I want to stitch to make a project and then to have it completed. I need to see the end product, the end goal of it. I can't just have something left unfinished that makes me feel not so great. But I'm trying to be okay with the idea of it's okay to start it because one day it will get finished. So in my mind, I'm saying one day it will get finished, so it will. So for Nora November, because I wanted to try to stick with the Nora Corbett designs, I am going to work on the Zodiacs. And I have all 12. I bought them probably in the springtime because I seen them and they look beautiful. I saw them live stitched up and framed at Under the Sea Fabrics. They have multiple of them done and they look amazing. And I've seen them online, and I've seen how some people have done conversions. So I wanted to stitch them. But my idea for stitching them, like you've seen me now, is trying to put multiple in one. So that's what I'm doing here. So my goal is to put multiple in one piece of fabric and then frame them as that. And I'm doing it based off of their elements. So 4 elements, right? We got fire, water, earth, and air. And there are 3 zodiac signs to an element. So I already picked a time ago the fabrics for them. And for me, the fabrics went exactly with what I needed for each of the elements. And then it was a matter of trying to arrange them on the fabric so that they looked good. So I will show you here. what they all look like. I don't know if I've done it before, but here is the thought process of what they look like. And I think they look great. I made sure that when picking the fabric, because I believe it is a fat quarter. Let me see. Yes, it's a fat quarter. Making sure that the three of them would fit, but they wouldn't be too bunched up. They wouldn't look too crowded. And it does fit. So I will show you them, and I'll show you their respective fabrics. You saw the mock-up, but then I'll show you what the actual fabrics are. I'll show you one of the ones for last that I will be starting. Okay, so I got here. So the three that are considered water signs are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Scorpio threw me for a loop. I don't know why. I feel like she'd be more of a fire sign, but she is a water sign. So, got Pisces, which I know out there is the conversion of Pisces, the fish, with them being orange. And then we got Cancer. And then we got Scorpio. And the fabric that I'm going to use for these is going to be Mermaid Seam on 32 count linen. And this was from Under the Sea Fabrics. And this is it. Yep. So I felt like this looked just like water. It's got those different hues of blue. But thankfully there isn't like too much of greens or purples. I wanted to stick with some blues, but it didn't seem too flat. And that it wasn't so saturated that it would like blur out the project when stitched on. So that is what I picked out for the water signs. Next one that I've got here, I guess, is the earth signs. So those are going to be Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. So we got Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. And the fabric that I'm going to use for them, I felt like this one was probably one of the harder ones because it's earth. And earth is not just green, right? There are different colors to earth, including brown. And so I thought this was the perfect fabric for it. And it's Dryad, and it's from Under the Sea Fabrics, and it's a 32 count linen. But look at it. This one I was so excited because I saw this and I said, yes, this is definitely an earth sign. Some light greens with some patches of brown. It just looked so, for me, it looked good. And again, it wasn't going to be too saturated or wasn't going to blur out the image. So I thought those were great. So next one's air signs. So air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And so that is Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. And the fabric for this one, again, which I felt was like air, is Ice Princess. Again, by Under the Sea Fabrics, and it's a 32 count linen. Whoop. That's this one. So again, with air, I did want to go more for like that fluffy cloud look. So it is more that lighter blue. That is this one. And then this last one, which is going to look weird in a second, you'll see why, are going to be the fire signs. So the fire signs are Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. Let's see. So we got Sagittarius. Whoop. Upside down Aries. And Leo. And then with this one, again, the fabric is very appropriate for fire, but I arranged this one because they're going to be the signs that I'm going to start. So my goal is to start with Sagittarius, November 1st. So this one I'll step back a bit because I had to rearrange these. So what I did, so I'll show the back, because the back will be the fabric. So this is the fabric, which, right? It totally looks like fire. There's that little-ish of red, but orange and yellow. I didn't want something that was purely red or lighter. I felt like this was perfect for fire. And so in the front, what I did was I got some paper and I cut out the pieces of paper to the stitch design dimensions, and then I laid them out. And I laid them out like this. I'm going to try to bring this backwards a little. In a way that, right, to give myself the margins, but also to make sure that the design is within the more exciting parts of the fabric where those transitions of yellows and orange are. And then the areas are touching, because when you look at the design isn't a pure rectangle, right? It's more of an oval. It looks like a frame. So the area, especially here, if you can see where it looks like it's touching, it's not. Right, so this is going to curve down, and this is just a linear of the marigolds. And I wanted it to look cohesive enough, whoop, scratchy nose, that they would all be in the middle, but not too scrunched up, but also not too separated. So my plan is to keep them like this. With stitching, I don't know how that'll work. I'll have to figure that out. But this one will be my first one. So the first Nora design, and it'll be my first Nora design ever. So my first one will be Sagittarius, and we will see how far it goes. I mean, I'm very realistic in that I will not get the whole thing done. That's 3 of them in a month, which would be crazy. I would have to work through the night. But I would at least like to get a good amount of work on Sagittarius. So I went to my LNS yesterday and I got the beads. I got all the beads. I don't have the threads because they don't carry carrying water lilies. So I'm going to have to order those, the ones that I don't have. But I do have the DMC threads, so I will be able to get Sagittarius started. I'll just have to order the carrying water lilies online. We'll see how that goes. So that's like the big plan that I have, and those are my thought processes for these projects. And then the other Nora Corbett designs that I just wanted to show you, just to say that, you know, since we're entering Nora November, and it's also a bit of the spooky season that I didn't show last time, are some of her other designs that I feel like they should be bewitching pixies. And I think they are. I don't know why I didn't show them last time. But I have a few of them here. So I got Spellbound, Masqued Mischief, oh guys, sorry. I promise I'm not sick, but I definitely hurt my lungs when I came back from Charlotte because my plane got in really late. And by the time I got out the doors from my plane, my connection flight was already boarding. And it took me like sprinting and then half limping all through B terminal and A terminal at JFK to then be the last person. I was the last person on that flight. Thank God they waited. They had to have known. They're like, "Are you Sadie?" I'm like, "Yes, I am," as I'm wheezing and I'm coughing. And if this is what an asthma attack felt like, then I am so sorry for the people who have asthma, because I literally felt like my heart was just going to come out and I was probably going to cough up blood because I was not having a good time. And after that, my lungs have been slowly trying to heal. So if I sound like I'm sick, it's because I decided to go from like 0 to 20 miles per hour running for like 5-10 seconds, and then my body wanted to shut down on me. So, sorry if I start coughing again. Alright, next one is Sea Witch. She's one of my favorites. So, I would love to work on her at some point in the future. And then the other one is Witching Hour. She one's cute. And this last one that is part of her insect series, but I felt like it belongs in the spooky series. and I would like to incorporate her is Miss Spider. Look at her. Isn't, like, she belongs in the spooky era. I don't know why she isn't there, but that's where I put her. So those are all my things. Thanks for sticking around. I know it was a long one, but it was bound to be because so much happened. And so much is going to be happening with Nora November. So that's my main plan. My main plans for the next time that I see you, which at that point I should already be starting on the Sagittarius. And I'm hoping I have the finish for you of Amanita Bistro. And I definitely need to be working on Plague Nurse because that is a Christmas gift and I cannot push that back anymore. So you'll likely see some progress on her too. Those may be the main ones. Mars would be a bonus, but those may be the main 3 that you'll see next time. So hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. I hope y'all have a fun and safe Halloween because I'll see you after Halloween. So I hope it's fun. I hope you guys have fun trick-or-treating if you do that. If not, watch some spooky, funny, or scary movies that you like. And stay warm because, it's been chilly. And I'll see you for Nora November. Have a good night.